So, as the title suggests, and as you can see, we'll be talking about the UCS Imperial Star Destroyer, also the Devastator, which is Darth Vader's ship. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So before we actually get into the ship itself, let's look at the manual. As you can see, it is a quite girthy and thick. It requires these rings to keep it together. Let's see, about 400 plus pages. This is truly a hefty piece of building advice. This is the back. The box is also ginormous, but I do like these kind of manuals. I miss them. Now it's just 2-3 different manuals for one set. I think this looks way better and way more imposing. So, let's look at the minifigures. As you can see, the Star Destroyer itself casts quite a big shadow because it's really that big. But first, let's have a look at this Imperial officer. He has leg printing and arm printing as well, which I quite like. You can clearly see the Imperial insignia. It should be on the hat as well, although that is less visible. I like his face print. The back print isn't too bad either. These are the only two minifigures that come with the set. I don't mind that because it's not minifigure scale, nor does it have an interior, so it doesn't need to come with more sets. It didn't even need to come with any, so I'm glad we got these two. And then this one does not have any arm printing, but I do like the way he looks. He has those old German uniform boots. I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I mean, because that's what they were inspired by. As you can see, the back printing quite ordinary, but still looking pretty nifty. As you can tell, they don't have any back face printing, whatever you want to call it, because you can see half of their face on the back, like the back of their heads. So I do like their caps. They're quite cool. So those are the only minifigures. So let's get into the rest of the Star Destroyer. I'll try to keep my hands as steady as possible. This is the view you'll get from the front side, which looks pretty good. It does have a little gap, but it's barely noticeable, luckily. So let's get into some details. You actually build these two entire sections, so it's ×2, but if I recall correctly, they do actually state it up front, like well enough that you can see it. It has a little 4 cannon thing here, which, you know, cool detail. This is all greebling, and it kind of scared me a while after I was done building it, because I didn't want any more greebling, or I didn't want anything to do with greebling anymore. I think the nose comes up pretty well. It's Lego, but you can tell it's pretty nice. The underside itself, I don't know how well the lighting will be, looks pretty neat as well. As you can see here, this is the gravitational chamber, or whatever it's called. Basically, that thing makes sure that there is gravity on the ship. Now, I put my Tanta 4 here, resembling this scene from Hello, Can You Focus? Yes, that was the movie. Hello, Can You Focus? Hello? Oh. The Tanta 4 in the... Okay, it's not gonna... Okay. Maybe if I put it like this. That's probably as good as we're gonna get it. So this is from A New Hope, where it gets captured by the Devastator, the Tanta 4 does. This is one of the two little side builds that come along with the ship. The other one is the over there, the little TIE fighter. So you actually build these panels in a few sections and then you connect them together from the inside and also from the outside. These come off because that's how you lift the ship, but I'll show that later. Over here you have three identical cannons and then one different one. Didn't know it was like that, but cool to have it. That mimics on each side, of course. So there are some patches of things added on top of the giant panels, which give it a better look. So it doesn't look just like one gray Dorito. We actually, at my place where I live, we call this the big gray Dorito. That's our dog, by the way. So this is one of my favorite things about the ship, the way this looks. You can see all the greeveling, the bridge, it's beautiful, the shield generators. And this is one of the only moving things. It can be displayed like this or like that. I think that looks better, so that's why I keep it there. Now, let's get to my favorite part of the ship. The engines. I genuinely think this is where this thing shines. Although, if you look very carefully, you can see some color coming through, but it's very minimal. The three giant engines and then the two smaller ones are great. There's one little hammer here, Mjolnir, as greebling, but honestly, looks good. So if I didn't have a Thor figure, I'd probably use it as Mjolnir because no one would really notice. These are actually barrels, but in gray, so that's pretty neat. And just the angling here, it honestly doesn't even feel like a Lego. Some parts aren't even squished together, but I'm still in awe, even these many months after owning it and having it. This is actually displayed downstairs, but it was up here because I put all of my Lego together. So if you wanted to know why I have it here, because obviously I can't display it on a dining table. This is the plaque that comes with it. You can see it's about 1,600 meters in real life. It's pretty big. This is where you can display your minifigures as well. It's not what I do, but it's something you can do. And then over here you have some more cannons. As I said, those mirror from the other side. This is basically entirely mirrored, but flipped upside down because it's used for both sides. And then just look at all the little detail. It looks great. Although it did give me trauma for greebling. Some parts aren't even aligned too well, but hey, it was worth it. It really was. So let's crack it open and see if you can, if you want to see the skeleton. So in order to open this up, I don't know, can you see me? Hello. In order to open this up, you have to pull these. Oh, I'm already breaking it. Good job, Jordan. It does, let me tell you that. I don't know if you can see me, but it does wiggle a little bit, which is good. Because if you were to bump into it, it would just wiggle and it wouldn't just fall over. So that's good. I wouldn't recommend just bumping into it all the time, but if it does happen, because it can happen, you know you're safe. So this is one of the parts that comes off. Then the other part is easier to pull off, obviously. And then this is where the tricky part comes. This is connected via these white bars. That's how they fit into this yellow part. Again, don't know if you can see it that well, but fits in there. So you can just lift it up, place it down, and obviously the other side is like that as well. Excuse me? I'm stuck. Help. Okay, we're good. So let me show you the skeleton. Parts are coming off. So, here we have it. This is where those pins come in, which is finicky to get it in there, but once you do, it's secure. As you can see, there's a lot of colors going on. That makes the building process easier. I know some people don't like that, but I didn't mind, and you can barely see any color coming through, so not a big deal to me. These pieces are very sturdy. The spine of the ship is amazing. I never feel scared when I'm holding it like that. Excuse me, I'm tired. Long day, so as I said, I never feel scared holding it, which is obviously a good thing, because if you're scared holding it, can't really move it anywhere. This is the back panels. Obviously there's some gappage down there and there, because that's where the stand comes through. So now that you've seen the skeleton, let's get on to my conclusion of the Devastator. So in conclusion, I really do recommend this set if you, one, have the room to display it, and two, have the money for it. Otherwise, I don't think it's for you. Obviously, if you can't display it, like if you don't have the room for it, nor have the money, I don't think you should spend it on Lego. Anyway, I hope you do enjoy this. Like if you enjoyed the video, and if you end up picking it up, if you enjoyed the set. One more thing, I wouldn't recommend picking it up like this, like from the other side, underside. I've seen a few people do it, but that just freaks me out, and as I said, I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.